You hit that beautiful play button on 10-Minute Tech Talks. These are business insights and growth hacks for the time-crunched entrepreneur. I'm your host, Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council, and I have nearly 3 decades telling the stories of Pittsburgh's most successful tech companies and the women and men behind them. Is AI making your workplace smarter or just more stressful? As companies race to integrate AI tools, many overlook the human side of the equation, how employees actually feel about using them, and how workplace culture shifts when new technology enters the mix. If you're leading a team or adapting to AI yourself, this episode of 10-Minute Tech Talks gives you the perspective you need to navigate both the opportunities and the anxieties. I've got highlights of my interview with Nathan Wadden of the Kindling Culture Agency, who authored a fascinating read on the impact of AI on work culture. Be sure to click on the link in the description to read the entire thing. But for you time-crunched entrepreneurs out there, just keep on listening so you can discover why embedding AI into daily workflows can free up time for more meaningful work, learn how leaders can use moments that matter to strengthen trust and adaptability, and hear practical ways to build culture when employees feel safe and valued and future-ready in the age of AI. So keep on listening now to hear how you can turn AI adoption into a competitive advantage while protecting the culture that keeps your people engaged. So let's jump into my conversation with Nathan right now.
What's a little dicey is that AI doesn't want to push back on you, right? It wants to make you happy, right?
It does want to please, so you don't always get the best.
So the creative sparring doesn't go very deep.
Love
It just
that.
raises some potential avenues to take.
Exactly. So when I was reading through your article, you emphasize the moments that matter in an employee's journey, and these are absolutely critical while you're implementing AI, right? How can leaders identify and manage these moments? I think this is tough to be a leader in this day and age. You're managing both sides of the equation.
Both sides, you're up and down,
Up
right?
and
You're
down,
managing
right, yeah.
up and down, and probably sideways as well for those that aren't adopting some of the technologies at speed that the organization is expecting. The organizations will always expect speed and movement forward, and more data doesn't mean that. Let me back up. What was your question again?
No,
I
I'll
just
start over
lost
again.
my.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. So basically, in your article, you keep emphasizing these moments that matter, right?
Right.
And in an employee's journey, it's like critical during AI, and it's absolutely critical during this implementation that you can kind of identify these things. It's a great moment to interface and engage. What was that inspiration on that?
Yeah, so managers are managing up and down and sideways with their organization, and what we've seen forever since humans have been working is there are moments that matter on an employee journey. And take this new technology, for instance. This is just another digital transformation. We've had them before, right?
We have.
But they're coming faster and faster and faster now. There are shorter distances between implementing these new digital tools and then living with them and letting them build a foundation. But right now, as an example of moments that matter is, let's say you have someone on your staff that you lead that is curious about AI and they're using AI themselves. They've already volunteered to self-explore. So they're an early adopter to technology. And those kind of individuals are looking for ways not only to make an impact in their day-to-day life, but also potentially looking to impact the organization and their coworkers too. So looking for those individuals who are your early adopters of technology and it may be a real important moment that matters for that individual, for you as a leader to be curious about what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Okay, yeah.
And letting them help you potentially launch this new technology internally.
Well,
Right?
that goes right to, you mentioned this point that I thought was kind of fun, it's this reverse mentorship where a lot of times it's the younger generation that will engage with the tech. And so being able to have them mentor the older folks in the office, I think is a brilliant idea. That's really cool.
We had done that with a client years ago.
Okay.
It was a reverse mentorship, and it was basically how to use. I'm going to age myself here, but it was how to use email properly in the workplace, and how it was different than an inter-office memo in a manila envelope. So reverse mentorships, they they bring down that generational wall that can get created between younger people and older people, where we just are like, oh, these young kids, they don't know what's really, they don't have any expertise. They just have technology. They just know how to use the new interface.
People are complex, damn it.
Yeah, but it's about those relationships.
Exactly.
At work.
I mean, you throw two people in a room, you got a culture, right?
100%. Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah. And if you put two people in a room and then you give them an outcome that they need to reach.
Yes, exactly.
You give them
outcome. That's
because
exactly
then
right.
you're going to need, because culture
you need each other to
you
succeed.
need to create something together to get to that point. Time.
Oh man, now AI is just making it all the more complex, but I feel like it can be managed though, which is what you really show here, is that this can be managed.
Yeah, I think we can learn from other transformations that have happened in organizations and in business. And for us, it's really about, again, an adaptability. You have an opportunity to build an adaptable culture if you don't have one. You have an opportunity to build a better culture around this transformation, within this transformation. So starting inside the organization and working upward and outward is the way to go here.
Okay.
Because you're going to need the people to be part of the transformation. And shouldn't be pushing this transformation down, because
that's the biggest takeaway for me, was that you can't just push it down.
You can't push it down. And honestly, I don't know that leaders know how to do this without the people. The knowledge of the knowledge of the youngest workers in your organization, and the knowledge of the individuals who have been early adopters with AI, those individuals are such a wealth of information for you as early adopters to help bring the organization forward with your AI transformation. Those individuals need to be part of this, as well as your senior employees too, because they have a knowledge of how this can actually be deployed inside of an organization, with the sales experience, with the customer support experience.
Yeah.
So making them part of the transformation is I think fundamental.
I mean, that is literally the key takeaway. That's the one thing you got to at least be thinking about, whether you're a large company and you're trying to do something, or if you're starting to build your own company and you're adding people. It's amazing to me. I see so many companies that are members of the tech council where in the past 2 or 3 years, they've added 50, 60, 100 people.
Yeah.
And that, to me now, that's the most fundamental part, where this is that stage where you can build that culture.
Yeah.
Just be practically thinking about this, not just build it. We know that everyone's building a company super fast, right? I mean, everyone's got, you got payroll to make, you got customers to please, and it's easy to get lost. But if you don't step back and think about this thoroughly, which I recommend, read the article and get all the key points, give you a call and have them talk to you about it, because I just feel like you're putting yourself at a big disadvantage.
Yeah, we often say that if you're growing an organization, you have a culture, whether you have been intentional about building it or not.
It's just going to happen.
It's going to happen. And in every culture, there's a shadow culture. That's how work actually gets done. There's so much money in the system now to make organizations AI ready, AI compliant, or however you want to say that. Every buzzword you can imagine is out there around AI and integrating it into what you do and how you do it. There's such pressure. Organizations have such pressure with it, and leaders are looking for ways to implement it. And my biggest fear is they implement this transition in a way that doesn't care for the people that work in the organizations.
And it can be easy to do that too, I think, because sometimes the pressure's on you to find efficiencies, and it's kind of like, oh, hell be damned. Like,
ROI is one of the worst words in the world, because it's, when are you measuring it? How are you measuring it? Who's measuring it? And having to get an ROI on things. I'm a business owner. I get it. Like, you have to have a return on the investment of your resources, but it shouldn't come at the conflict, or shouldn't come at the cost of a good culture for people to come to work, because we're giving of ourselves and our energy, our life, to something, in some cases, to make the place better, to make our jobs better, to make the environment and the world a better place.
I am so stoked that you made 10-minute Tech Talks part of your day. I hope you learned something new and valuable. And if you want to keep getting more business building, technology, and entrepreneurial insights, just subscribe. We're pushing out new interviews at least once per week. I hope to see you on the next one.